Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. So in this one here, I want to talk about the Rick Grimes movie because we got some updates about this, and I'm going to do probably another video or two this week on this because there's separate things about the Rick movie that I want to talk about. This one here, let's talk about the fact that, at least according to comicbook.com here, the Rick Grimes movie will reportedly have a hard R rating, so it's going to be rated R, and that's going to, what does that mean for the Rick Grimes movie? I want to talk about that. So before we go any further, I do have to warn you for spoilers for The Walking Dead. And if you are new here, you want more Walking Dead content like this, the show is returning in 50 days. Just make sure to be a subscriber. I apologize if my voice sounds a little like strained or whatever, because I don't know why. Probably because I haven't recorded in a while, but I just recorded another video. I'm recording this one now. I can feel pain in my throat right now. Like it's actually, I guess I haven't really been talking like this in quite a while. I actually noticed yesterday I was talking a lot, and not even a lot, very loud, when I was driving, and yeah, I noticed that I was straining my voice, so I gotta kind of calm down a little bit. I guess if you don't use your voice a lot, right? Like I haven't really been recording in it's been pretty rare in the last month. So according to comicbook.com, and this is coming from, at least according to their site here, I'll read this quote here from the article. Again, I'll leave a link down below to the article if you want to read it. It says, The Walking Dead movie's expected R rating comes from scooper Daniel Rickman on his Patreon page. Gimple previously suggested a script penned with Walking Dead creator Robert Kirkman would be 17 plus when he compared the film to Logan, the gritty X-Men spinoff rated R for strong, brutal violence and language throughout. So that is probably going to be really what it is. The reason why it's rated R is because there's going to be, foul language or whatever, and a lot of violence. As soon as this came out, I posted on Instagram and I saw a lot of comments. People were asking about nudity and stuff like that. And I get why people were asking about that, but I don't know how they would even fit that in there. They could if they wanted to, but it's kind of unnecessary for The Walking Dead. You don't really have to do that. It's not I'm not saying you can't. It's just kind of unnecessary because I would say, if anything, go more for the violence and then the swearing and stuff like that. Like that stuff makes sense, right? Imagine if the Walking Dead main show was rated R, right? Like we would have Negan swearing all the time because in the comic, the character, every second word is a swear. Like he is constantly swearing. So I think this movie is going to go into that a little bit just because, the comics do it quite a bit. The show doesn't. People have been asking for the F word and stuff like that said on the show for years now. So it makes sense. I think that's where the rated R part of it comes into play. Also, I think because they're going to be able to show off a lot of violent testing being done, and more than that, just gruesome deaths and stuff like that. I think that's where a lot of that's going to come into play. I don't think nudity is really going to be a big part of it. It's not going to be a slasher movie or a basic horror movie where this couple hooks up or something, in a cabin or something. It's the apocalypse. They're in the CRM military complex and stuff like that. So expect less of that, definitely, but more gruesome deaths and swearing and all of that. And of course, this is just a rumor right now. It's not confirmed or anything like that. We haven't actually got an official word on it. This person apparently has knowledge of things, and so that's why I guess that came out. Anyways, I'll leave a link down below to the article if you want to check it out and stuff, but I did find that pretty interesting because I think if the movie was rated R, you're definitely going to attract a lot of people to go and check it out, because then, yeah, you can do a Logan spin on it. You can be more like, I don't want to say Sin City, but you can be more, not Quentin Tarantino-like, but you know what I mean? You can definitely have a more gritty, darker vibe with this movie, and a lot of people are going to check it out. And I think that's actually something that you can do with the zombie apocalypse, is make it a little darker and grittier. Because if they don't have that aspect to the movie, I'm not saying it's going to be bad or anything like that, obviously. Ultimately, the rating doesn't really matter too much. It really comes down to the story, the writing, and things like that. The rating is more of, it's fun, right? It depends on the movie, obviously, but it's added fun, right? Which obviously could definitely help the viewing of the movie. But I think if it is rated R and everything is finalized, they announce it, I think a lot of people are going to be very excited about it. I guess it does suck because if it's rated R, depending on, I guess, where you live, but you might not be able to watch it in the theaters, right? Because if it's 18 plus or 17 plus or whatever it is, you might have to be 18 to go and watch it. So for people who are under 18, it would suck unless you would have a parent. Because I know when I was younger, when I was 14 or whatever, I just needed my mom or my dad or someone with me. I used to sneak in. I remember actually for Halloween 2, the Rob Zombie movie, Halloween 2009, or maybe it was the first one, around there. I was like 14, 15, 16 or something like that. And I just snuck in, and I actually snuck in with my brother, who was like, he's 5 years younger than me. So whatever that would be, like he was like 9, 10, 11. And we snuck in to go watch that movie because we're huge Halloween fans. We're huge like horror fans in general. Like we've been watching them since we're little kids. My dad's awesome. Like the fact that he let us watch that shit at a young age. Like, but if it is rated R, I definitely am going to be very excited about it. And I've been seeing this rumor out there, and I'll talk about this maybe in a future video if there's enough to talk about with it. Maybe I can combine it with something else, but I'll kind of talk about it here, I guess. It's another article here that I saw from comicbook.com, and it says The Walking Dead director says Andrew Lincoln's Rick Grimes will return in 2021. And so I don't know. That headline is obviously, you're going to click on it. And it's the director, Rosemary Rodriguez. I can't remember what episodes she's done, but I think she did the X-Scar episode or whatever with Michonne. I could be wrong. I really could be wrong with that, but I recognize her name. I've talked about her before. I just can't remember right now. But it says here that she appears to reveal a potential 2021 release date for the Walking Dead feature film, bringing back the long-missing Rick Grimes. And yeah, so the thing about that, I guess I'll raise that question. Do you think the Rick Grimes movie could come out this year? I personally don't really think so, but I do think it is a possibility. But Andrew Lincoln did say last month that the Rick Grimes movie he's expecting to start filming in spring, around I'm guessing like March, April, May, around there, whenever he can, right? When things start to get better, there's vaccines going out and stuff. So he expects, because things are starting to go in a positive direction, that's when he's expecting to film. So like we know roughly when the Rick Grimes movie is going to be filming. When The Walking Dead is on, probably by the Here's Negan episode, that's when we're going to get like these on-set photos of Rick Grimes and stuff. And they're going to create all this excitement. It's going to be all like, holy shit, they're filming. But what this director said was that like what she's looking forward to the most is finding Rick Grimes on the big screen, and that was for this year. Now, I don't know if she's in the know of anything that could, she could be, definitely. I think she's directed a few episodes for The Walking Dead, and she seems to be pretty, like, she's loved by the cast and stuff, so she could, but maybe that's just like a wish that she has, something, because if they start filming in the spring, can they really have the movie out by the fall, or like in November or December or something like that? It depends on the story, but like, the movie's probably going to be 2 hours long, for sure. If they start filming in April, and that's the thing you got to remember too, when they film The Walking Dead, they film The Walking Dead from May to November, right? And that's an entire season made up of how many hours is that? Like say an episode is 40 minutes minimum. I know they're much more than that, but just say 40 times 16 is, what is that? That's like 640 hours, right? Wait, no, that's 604. I don't know why I added the zero. 64 hours, right? Wait, no, I messed that up. I said 40 minutes. That's 640 minutes divided by 6, which would be like 10.4 hours or something like that. So it's roughly 10 hours. Yeah, 10 hours of footage that they've filmed, but they're filming a lot more. They just edited down to that point. For the movie, they only need 2 hours. So you need a lot less time, definitely, to make a movie than a television show, but there might be different set pieces and different things you got to do. Like, I think if they start filming in the spring, they're going to get the movie done definitely by the end of the summer. And then they have to edit it, and that's really where it's going to take a long time. Can they get that done? I don't think so, but I definitely think the movie's coming out next year. Like, definitely for sure. I would be surprised if the movie was pushed off to 2023. I know for a fact the movie's coming out next year, because if they're filming in the spring, they could even rush it, and depending on what they do and the budget and all that, maybe they could have it out in the fall. Maybe like she is onto something here, but I'm thinking realistically with just the pace that things have been at right now, I think this movie might come out next spring. Like not the spring of this year, spring 2022. I think that's when that movie's going to come out. And the reason why I actually think that too is because I still think Rick Grimes is going to be in the actual Walking Dead finale, like the final episode to the show ever. I think he's going to be there at the end. But you don't want his first episode back, to like for fans to watch, to be in that episode. You want it to be in the movie, right? Because you want to have this first movie as like, it's going to be marketed as like Rick's comeback sort of thing, like he's returned. And so if you do that in the finale for the Walking Dead show, then it kind of ruins the movie. So if you do it in the movie beforehand, you have that out next summer, spring, whatever, And then late 2022, when the final episode ends, if he's there, doesn't really spoil anything too much. I know it could affect the movies, but not really, because, like, are we really expecting Rick to die at all? No, right? And they could do different things with the story where in that third movie, they go forward however many years and Rick's a lot older, right? Like they could do something like that. Anyways, I'm excited for this Rick Grimes movie and I'm happy that I got these two things out of the way. There's still a lot to talk about. I've missed so much stuff and trust me, it was bugging me a lot. I saw this update. I wanted to talk about it so bad, but I had some stuff that I had to deal with. And yeah, just look forward to my next video. I hope you guys all enjoyed this and I'll see you guys in the next one.